everyone, my name is Sudhanshu Bharti and welcome to our channel of English Literature. So today we are going to talk about the metaphysical school of poetry. So as you all are aware, the term metaphysical poetry was coined by Dr. Samuel Johnson in his famous work, The Life of Eminent Poets, where he was talking about the biographies of the different poets. And in his 52nd chapter of The Life of Eminent Poets, where he was discussing about Abraham Cowley, he had coined the term called metaphysical poets. But the term was used in a derogatory sense. One can even say that Dr. Samuel Johnson, he was very critical of the metaphysical school of poetry. Yes, but what is the reason behind that? Why he was so critical? Because according to him, the concepts that were used by metaphysical school of poets, they were not connecting to the general audience. Why? Because if you will read the metaphysical poetry, you will find that the conceits have been used in abundance. What is the meaning of a conceit here? Conceit simply means combination of two different things. So let's have a detailed discussion on metaphysical school of poetry. First, look at the term, the metaphysical. It is a combination of two different things, meta plus physical. Meta simply means beyond. So we are going to see the concepts that are beyond this physical world. Means we are going to the level of trance. Okay, so that we are going to talk about. There is another point. If metaphysical group of poets, they were not received, you can say warmly by the critiques of 18th century, so why we are reading today? How they became so popular nowadays? So one can give credit to T.S. Eliot, because T.S. Eliot was one of the poets who wrote an essay on metaphysical poetry. His essay was called On Metaphysical Poetry, and in that essay he had defined two new terminologies. One of them is disassociation of sensibility. What does it mean? So let me take an example so that it will be very clear to all of you. As you all know that there are mostly two ways of composing or of writing poetry. One can write poetry out of reason or out of emotions. Let's take examples. If I talk about the reason, so one can take the example of 18th century poetry in the poems of Dryden, in the poems or in the poetry of Dr. Samuel Johnson, or in the works of you can say Alexander Pope. One can find that in abundance they were using the concept of reason. Their poetries were codified as the satirical poetry. So they were not talking about emotions. They were writing for the political parties. They were writing satirical poetry. So according to T.S. Eliot, when a group of poets, they were favoring you can say they were writing their poetry based on the concept of reason. So they were compromising with the other concept, that is the emotion. They were not talking about the emotion. Whereas, look at the poetry of the 19th century. Most of the 19th century poets, they were talking about their personal emotions. They were talking about their feelings. For an example, Wordsworth was talking about his personal emotion. He also gave one concept of poetry, that is the spontaneous overflow of powerful emotions. So according to T.S. Eliot, in different group of poetries, one can find, you can say, a favor either to reason or to emotion. But our metaphysical group of poetry was very unique, because he has, you can say that in metaphysical poetry one can find a unique combination of both reason and emotion. So this is the reason that according to T.S. Eliot, metaphysical group of poets, they were unique among the other school of poets. So let's first know about the concept of metaphysical poetry. So the term metaphysical, it is a combination of two different terminologies, meta plus physical. Meta means beyond, meta means after. What is physical? Physical means the physical world. So in metaphysical poetry, we are going to see the concepts that are beyond this physical world. And for your information, metaphysical poets, they were talking about two concepts of poetry. Metaphysical poetry is either based on the love poetry or the religious poetry. Okay. Now the other thing, what we need to do now, for a better understanding of metaphysical poetry, one should know the meaning of a conceit. What is the meaning of a conceit? Conceit simply means the combination of two different things. For an example, if you read the poetries of John Donne, you will find that conceits have been used in abundance. For an example, in one of the poems, where he was describing or he was discussing about the life of the two lovers, he was not simply referring them as simply the human beings, but he was using a conceit of a compass. A compass has been used to, you can say, to reflect the life of two lovers. The two strings of the, you can say, the compass, they were used to denote the two life of the lovers. So in that way, one can find a correlation between two different things. Look at that. On one hand, we have a compass. On another hand, we have the life of two human beings. They are no way in relation to each other, but the relationship has been formed. How? Forcefully. So, when two vague ideas are connected to each other, when we try to make a combination of two different things and we try to make it a relation forcibly, this is called a conceit. And one can find lot of conceits in metaphysical poetry. So, in our next lecture, we are going to read the metaphysical poems. There in detail, I will explain you the different conceits that have been used. But for your exam, one can always remember who has coined this term, in which work the term was coined, and who wrote an essay on the metaphysical poets. Okay, so that's all for today. Thanks for watching our video.